What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense. And why does this fool have on shades indoors? I know some of you may be thinking, I'm just weird like that. That's just me. Plus, I like the look. It is what it is. I'm not a real big shade wearer, but these kind of look nice on me. But anyway, the scent that I wore today is from a newcomer. And on Instagram, the name of his company is called Le Parfum Maison or Maison de Darius. And he did shorten the name. So it is now called Maison de Darius. And I talked about one of his fragrances yesterday. He is a new company. He is not a clone house. These are quote unquote by him originals. But I am going to tell you something that happened to me this morning when I was wearing this particular fragrance, which is the one with the N on it. And I'm not even finna butcher the name of this fragrance. If you saw it in the description, you can try to pronounce it and make a fool of yourself. I already did that this morning and it didn't go over too well. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to disrespect this man's fragrance by butchering the name of it. But we're just going to call it N for now. This fragrance is gourmandish as heck. And if you've ever smelled a gourmandish fragrance, then it is one of those fragrances that when you smell, you think it's edible. This has notes of caramel, vanilla, oud, amber, and violet. And from my personal opinion, y'all know how I am. I even told this young man when he first sent me, before he sent me these fragrance samples, that I was going to give my honest opinion. And he said, okay. This, to my friend this morning, she said it smelled like something I already had. I didn't say this. She did. I noticed this morning when I first sprayed this on, she was sitting on my bed. And I was standing here at my dresser trying to pick which one I want to wear. So I just grabbed one and said, the heck with it. And this was a bad choice because gourmand fragrances in the heat, that's not a great combination. But I sprayed this on, 7 sprays, and my friend didn't say anything. And normally if she smells something that she likes or she don't like, she'll let me know. Well, when I sprayed this on, she didn't say anything. So when we got in the elevator, I asked her, I said, do you smell what I got on? And she said, yeah, I smell it. It's not strong, but it smells like something you already have or you already wore before. And I said, okay. And I just left it at that. So I pick up the caramel. I pick up the vanilla. I do not detect oud, amber, or violet. And I think what would have set this fragrance apart from any other gourmandish type fragrance is if he would have maybe amped up the oud a little bit to make it stand out and be a little different, or the violet that's in this. And I like violet or violet leaf. I don't know if that's what he meant, violet leaf or just violet. I like the violet leaf that's in Dior Fahrenheit, which gives it that petrol or gasoline type vibe. Something to change the DNA of just smelling like an ordinary gourmandish fragrance. I like the scent, but coming from my friend, she already says that it smells like something I either have or have worn before, which kind of was off-putting to me, but I still wore it anyway. I promised this young man I was going to review his fragrances and get it out there to my subscribers. That's what I'm going to do. Bad choice of wearing this in the heat. It was 90-something degrees today, and this got clawing like a mug. I got 5 hours on my skin out of this fragrance once again. And like I told him yesterday with the other fragrance, it could just be my skin, my body chemistry. But other people said with the fragrance I wore yesterday, they say they got 10 plus hours. It's subjective. Body chemistry, climate, whatever the case may be, I got 5 out of that one and this one. I still can smell it, but what I'm smelling is coming off the back of my shirt. And that's because this atomizer is not the best on this little decant. it doesn't spray a mist like a normal one. It does a straight shot. So when it hit my skin, it started running down my arm wherever I sprayed it. So that's what got on the back of my collar of my shirt. That's the only place on my body that I can smell this fragrance. And in the air, I was still getting whiffs of it. But off of my skin, it's non-existent. It's completely gone. And that was around the 5-hour mark, around 12 o'clock. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm just not getting the type performance that other people are getting. And like I said, sometimes it's body chemistry. Sometimes it's just the climate. This is probably more for cooler weather, not the heat. And, I mean, that's about all I can say. My friend really didn't care much for it. She said it smelled like something else I already have or have worn. I like it. It's just not a fragrance that stands out from the usual gourmandish type fragrance to me. Like I said, if he could have amped up the oud or maybe the violet, it would have made it stand out more. But with it just smelling like a gourmand fragrance, I don't know what to tell you, Chief. Great job with this. I don't want to tell you what to do with your fragrances, but maybe if you want to do a different batch just to try it and see what happens, maybe amp up the oud a little bit, or maybe amp up something else to give it something different, like a different DNA than a regular gourmand. But you have a great start here. You just need to make it different from everything else. It may be different to you. It may be different to everybody else. But to my nose, it just smells like an ordinary gourmandish type scent. So thank you anyway for allowing me to sample this. I do recommend it. But I do feel that a lot of people may be disappointed with this one because it's just going to smell like an average gourmand. And it just needs to stand out more. So I will leave the Gmail information in the description below. I will also leave the information for his Instagram if anybody wants to go over there and check him out also. But with that being said, y'all, I got to get out of here. Here is To Smelling Great. Peace.